Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show for you today. Big Greg, what's up, brother? How we doing?
Good. Happy Sunday. I'm back from Sin City. Made it back in one piece, which is always something to be said after 5 days in that land. But yeah, it was successful. Made some contacts, met a couple guys out there. It was good to catch up with a couple of you, and yeah, ready for a big Sunday.
There we go, man. Indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, I had a big, bad Saturday. Let me show you this. Now, Brad, he hit his in soccer. I went 1 for 4. Oh, Tennessee lost. UCLA keeps rolling. North Carolina lost. Florida State lost to Auburn. Good win by Auburn there. UC Santa Barbara kept it going. Tennessee goes to Vanderbilt, wins outright. We had that +3.5, and Iowa State lost to BYU. So what do we see yesterday? All right, NC State handled their business. Michigan, look at them, took out Louisville 8-5. LSU continues to roll 9-4. And let me say this too. I understand that right now is the third period of the USA Canada hockey game. So yeah, Brad was a push. Apologies. And so I totally get anybody that's watching that game, drop it into the chat what you're seeing. Obviously, I cannot see it, so keep me updated. Massive game. Yeah, obviously. All right, LSU continues to roll. West Virginia 2-0 win over Liberty. I don't think Liberty scored a run yet against West Virginia. Kentucky takes out Evansville. Clemson took out Bryant. Miami continues to pound. Arkansas beat Xavier 7-6. East Carolina, look at that 10-3 win over North Carolina. Georgia takes out Samford. Mississippi State 10-0 win over Delaware. Georgia Tech 6-5 win over Stony Brook. Princeton takes out NC State in the second game. Texas takes out Michigan State. Oklahoma 24-0 over Coppin State. Texas A&M beat Penn. Kent State beat Tennessee 2-1. Tennessee can't hit right now. Wake Forest 2-1 win over Siena. Liberty finally gets one. There you go. In the doubleheader there, Evansville took out Kentucky. Auburn beat Florida State 8-5. UCLA continues to roll 5-1 win over TCU. Florida 11-0 win over Kennesaw State. Miami 14-3 win. What do we see? All right, sorry. Southern Miss beat Oregon State as well. What a massive game there. All right, Duke takes out Michigan in college basketball last night, 68-63. Arizona beat Houston 73-66. UConn big win over Villanova. BYU took out number 6 Iowa State 79-69. Cincinnati beat Kansas 84-68. What a wild day in sports yesterday was. Nebraska beat up on Penn State. UCLA takes out Illinois in overtime there. Gonzaga and Pacific. Gonzaga beat Pacific there. Florida takes out Ole Miss 94. Good God, Florida just continues to pound, man. Texas Tech 172 win over Kansas State. Virginia win. North Carolina beat Syracuse. St. John's beat Creighton 81-52. Tennessee beat Vanderbilt. Arkansas beat Missouri. Louisville beat Georgia Tech, and Alabama a 90-83 win over LSU. All right, let's jump into it for today. Let's hit college baseball first. Then we're going to hit college basketball. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, let me get the sounder here. Let's get the big. All right, big dog, let it rip. What you got?
Yes, it is, like you said, a bounce back Sunday for some of these teams, and we will play right into that, starting with Florida State coming off that loss to Auburn yesterday. I expect them to bounce back in a major way, parlay them up with Arizona State, who I expect to handle business. Do not like the 3 or 4.5 run line, but we will keep it simple with the -115 money line parlay. Couple that with the 3-piece that I like, Georgia, UNLV, and Coastal Carolina. Game 1 for Coastal Carolina. They do play a doubleheader today. They got rain yesterday, but I expect them, especially with this kind of situation, to absolutely handle game 1, get through it, utilize that pitching that you've got left over for game 2. But I expect this team to be very much ready for game 1. I expect UNLV to handle Bradley again. They have put up double digits in each of their first 2 games. And anybody who watched Samford yesterday, these are 2 completely different ball clubs. Georgia should absolutely handle them. Anything less than, in my opinion, a 5-6 run victory today would be a disappointment for the Bulldogs, who look good, look solid, have big things on their mind, and I'm very impressed with this offense.
Nice, man. There we go. Good work. All right. 3 for me today. Okay. The first two, let's jump in. The third one, yeah. Anybody who wants on that risk play, let's go. If not, I certainly understand. All right, first off, Tennessee money line, Southern Miss money line. Tennessee in a bounce back spot here against Kent State. Southern Tennessee has got to get the bats going. They have just popped up every single at bat. Stop trying to hit home runs, fellas. Come on, man. Line drives count too. So, all right, we're going to talk about all these games. Tennessee money line and Southern Miss money line. Liking what I'm seeing from Southern Miss. My goodness, man, this team's playing ball. All right, Florida State, I'm with you there. Bounce back day after the loss to Auburn. So I'm going to pair them up with UC Santa Barbara, see if we can get Santa Barbara to finish the sweep against Portland. And then Oregon State money line and Arizona. So, okay, here we go. Two risky plays on the board today. Now, Arizona State on a bounce back, but it's a tough matchup. And then Arizona. What do we do with Arizona? They got to win against UConn. Finally. What can we do? What can we do? All right. We're going to see it, man. All right. So that's what we have here for today. Pat said nobody likes LSU. I love LSU, right? Now, here's the hard part. And as we go into it, so these teams, and I don't mean specifically LSU and today, but what we saw yesterday, you're going to see these teams lose games. Like, it's baseball, right? So not that I'm thinking LSU is going to lose today, but at some point they're going to drop one. But it might not be today because this team's absolutely mashing. So that's what it was with me. I was just a little afraid just because of yesterday, to be completely honest with you. So, no, there's nothing against them. I like them. We just saw kind of a crazy day. All right, so every week or every weekend, we go into it saying, all right, how do we win the weekend? How do we finish on top? So Friday, 4-0. Great. Saturday, 0-3. Not so great. So we're 4-3. Going into the weekend, you could theoretically stop if you wanted to. You'd be one up, but what's the fun in that, right? So there we go. Trying to finish the weekend, right? 4-3. Let's win it and approach it the same way we do in college baseball. All right, so what do we have for today? Illinois, Coastal Carolina. Auburn, Louisville, and Arlington. Purdue, Oregon State. Coppin State at Oklahoma. Kent State at Tennessee. Xavier at Arkansas. Michigan State at Texas, finishing that one out. East Carolina, North Carolina at home for North Carolina here. Kennesaw State at Florida. Siena at Wake Forest. Lafayette at Miami. Bryan at Clemson. Sanford at Georgia. Stony Brook, Georgia Tech. Delaware, Mississippi State. Pennsylvania at Texas A&M. UCF and LSU in Jacksonville. Nebraska. That's going to be a good game, man. Nebraska and Florida State at Globe Life in Arlington. TCU and UCLA finishing off their series today. Baylor, Southern Miss, same deal. Yeah, Southern Miss. Sorry, yeah, Southern Miss taking on Baylor, and VCU taking on Coastal Carolina. So that's what we have in the top 25. Japan, happy birthday, big dog. What is good, bro? Happy birthday, man. All right, so let's jump into it here. Now, Greg, same thing that let me get the banner up. Yeah, did you say something?
No.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard you say it. All right, so let me get the banner up here. All right. Yeah, feel free to stop me on any games that you see. I'm just going to kind of go through them here. Illinois, Coastal Carolina. So you're on Coastal Carolina. They're minus 425 on the money line, minus 3.5 on the run line, total of 15.5. What do you like out of Coastal?
Like I said, especially the the doubleheader side of things, I expect them to, come out focused. You're going to have to play 18 innings today. And especially game one, I expect the pitching staff to follow as suit would be with what they're drawing up from top to bottom. Game two can always be a bit of a toss up with what you've got left. But I would especially with this kind of situation expect Coastal to go, balls to the wall like they would normally go with it's essentially their Saturday guy. So I think going with that normal Saturday perspective, they should go through with that top to bottom rotation, continue with the relief staff, and I think what is already match player for player with what Illinois has. I like Coastal. I'm on Coastal again this year. I think they'll be pretty solid, and I think this is a really, really strong spot for them against a very, very average Illinois team.
Yeah, Tizzle asked a question. Does Coastal put up 10 runs game one? I don't know. Team total is 9.5. That's a big number.
It would make sense though because it gets your pitching staff out of there. Also, a reason why I do not like taking spreads in college baseball this big is because your window is between 4 and 9 essentially. Or yeah, 4 and 9 here. So seems like a big number, but in baseball you realize you start getting up by 5 or more, things can get out of hand quickly. So I think taking the money line here and not worrying about it getting voided is a good angle.
Yeah, that is a good angle. All right, Indiana, Notre Dame. I don't have anything here. Notre Dame minus 125 on the money line. There's nothing that I have, to be completely honest with you. I don't know how much we're gonna be. Well, I think we're gonna be getting a lot of Notre Dame, so we're gonna have to figure them out. But I need a little more consistency there. Iowa, Florida Atlantic. Jeff said, "Good morning, AB, Greg, and crew. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see you, man. Real good to see you, my boy." My man Bill said, "Come down to Arlington next week. Orange is the color to wear." Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm in on that. All right, Louisville and Auburn. Okay, so, man, Auburn, big win over Florida State. Okay, Louisville dropped to Michigan. What do you see here?
I like the bounce back spot. I'm on Auburn. I was on Michigan yesterday. I think that Louisville is going to continue to prove to us that they are overrated and people cannot get over that number. I was not high on them last year. Thought they escaped to get through that regional. And I think that this is, again, a team that's getting too much credit. Look at what they've done so far this year. I do not think they warrant the number they got yesterday. And I think today's value spot with an Auburn team that came off a really nice win yesterday.
Yep, I agree, man. Eugene, my man, what's up, baby? Good to see you. On DraftKings, you can alt down the run line. That's what I do. Nice. All right, dude, that's a good approach.
Yeah, I love that. Those here.
Yeah, Eugene, nice work, man. All right, yeah, drop some of those in, just for examples. And again, not putting it on you. That's a good approach, man. Aubie said, how about them Auburn Tigers? Yeah, I know. A said, I got Auburn minus 113 today. Look, I agree with you. I'm in the same spot. And I bet Louisville a lot. Bet them yesterday. But this Auburn team's playing with juice, man. I hated to fade them yesterday. Obviously, should not have done that. They handled their business. So if you're somebody rolling on Auburn, minus 120, definitely playable on the money line for sure. All right, Purdue and Oregon State. So I'm on Oregon State here. Take it on Purdue. Number one, all right, Oregon State minus 375 on the money line, minus 3.5 on the run line. Total of 14.5. Yeah, I mean, look. Number one, this is Oregon State. Finish it right. Come off a bounce back. Get yourself good. Purdue, I don't believe in them all that much. I'm kind of looking at Oregon State to hammer today. Any thoughts you have here, Greg?
Yeah, I do have. I guess I will leave a hint. I have my biggest play so far this year going today for members. Part of it does include Oregon State. I had the under last night in that game. Oregon State, again, as upset as I want to be with how Oregon State kind of fell apart, credit again to who we've talked about last week and Southern Miss continuing to rack up those wins. They take the series against what is going to continue to prove to be a really solid Santa Barbara team, and another big victory for them. All this to me shows is that they're going to be a team that, as we know already, is not someone that you want to see in the postseason. Their staff is deep. They have no fear of getting deeper into games at bat-wise. The rotation is deep. The relief is solid. They've played a lot of tight games already. It's only going to benefit them.
This is true, my friend. This is true. Kansas and McNeese. Spelled Kansas going for the sweep today. Hey, keep them bats going. Keep it up. Kansas minus 250 on the money line. Very playable money line if you're looking for it here. Yeah, Eugene, I love Kansas run line. There you go. Minus 2.5. There we go. Danimal, haven't been betting lately. What's the best sports book for college baseball lines? DraftKings for me, my brother. DraftKings for me. Joseph says, USF on the board today after putting up 29 yesterday. Entire bullpen is available for them today. Not the norm for a Sunday. That's an excellent look. You're exactly right. When we get to South Florida, yeah, did we? I don't think we got there yet. No, we didn't. When we get there, yeah. Let's talk Joseph. Great look on that right there. All right, Kansas again. Very playable here. Long Beach State, CSU, Bakersfield. I don't have anything here. Rutgers, Virginia Tech. Do you have anything here, Greg? I don't have anything on Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
I mean, I talked about a little bit hoping the Big West was going to improve. Long Beach is not that. I'm disappointed again already with what I've seen from them. It would be an easy layoff. Virginia Tech comes off that walk-off victory yesterday. It's a weird situation again for both these teams. I would lay off both of these games with no question.
Yeah, layoffs for me as well. Kent State and Tennessee. All right, so Tennessee minus 3.5 on the run line, minus 475 on the money line. So look, Tennessee, quite honestly, should be down 0-2 in this series. They walked it off Friday 4-3. They lose yesterday 2-1. This team's not hitting right now. Now the weather's not great. However, and look, I said it yesterday. I thought that Tennessee would come out yesterday and mash. Did not. Just popping everything up, man. Sometimes the boys try to hit too many home runs. But I've got Tennessee today on the money line. I think that they bounce back against Kent State. Have to think, especially Elander, second series as a head coach. Let's go. Come on, baby. Pull it together now. All right. So Tennessee here. Kennesaw State. Let me pull it back up full screen. Kennesaw State and Florida. I mean, nothing to complain about with Florida here. Minus 520 on the money line and over under 15. Minus 3.5 on the run line there. So, yeah, do what you will with that. Samford and Georgia. You're on Georgia today. Georgia minus 4.5 on the run line. Total of 15.5. Minus 620. Loving what I'm seeing for the Bulldogs, man.
Yeah, that offense is they have got, if nothing else, boy, have they got swagger. As a Tennessee guy, I will be surprised. Not used to seeing burnt orange on a Georgia player. I thought that was the ultimate sin, but apparently that seems to fly. I mean, I remember all the swagger that Georgia had when we played them, and boy, it was night and day compared to this match. But you know what? Whatever you got to do to get your players hyped up and keep them feeling like they're the man is big, and certain coaches know how to play into that. Tony Vitello is one of those guys, and look at the results. So there's a fine line between arrogance and cockiness, and you know, at the end of the day, it's about having that swagger and feeling good. So I do like what Georgia's doing. It's going to be about the pitching again this year because that offense is lights out again without question.
Yep, no doubt. And look, man, it works. Like you said, it works. It doesn't work for everybody, but you have the right makeup for it, and this Georgia team feels like it. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely nothing to complain about what we've seen. Georgia playing. Let me say this respectfully. Georgia's playing above their heads, but also consistently above their heads. So that just might be their level. Yep. You know what I mean? They're a good baseball team for sure.
Yes, they are.
What do we have here? Marshall said, running back Jokic over 1.5 threes, minus 120. Great matchup versus Warriors. Let's cash 2 in a row. And you nailed it. Absolutely. Spot on Friday. So great work, Marshall, on that one, my boy. All right, Xavier, Matty boy, I hope I got that right. And Arkansas here. Arkansas minus 4.5 on the run line, a total of 14.5. Minus 720 on the money line here. Pretty much unplayable. Arkansas is Arkansas. Nothing really that we have to break down there. Michigan State, Texas. Here we go. Texas minus 4.5 on the run line, minus 950 on the money line. Total of 13.5. Eugene says he took Florida minus 2.5 on the run line. Hey, there you go. Florida's hitting the ball, man. Do you have anything Michigan State, Texas? You've been watching this series?
Yeah, I've been watching. You know, credit to Michigan State. They have continued to throw the ball well. I'm high on Texas. I've mentioned it already. I think that their staff, you know, especially what they continue to bring out of the bullpen is something that's going to keep them in every game. They look a little bit like the old Garrido teams that I remember. They have no fear with, you know, playing small ball at times. We know they can hit the ball out of the park at any time, but I like what I'm seeing. They have no problem playing in a high scoring or a low scoring game. Easy layoff today. This number is unplayable in all ends. And there's no way I would take Michigan State because we know that where they are now, especially with getting into that late games on the weekend, pitching staff is going to be strained. This is week 2. Just don't know how guys recover after that first outing too. So easy layoff for me, but hasn't changed my feelings on how high I am on Texas.
Yeah, this team is playing well. I mean, there's nothing to complain about with them. East Carolina, North Carolina. All right, so game 3 in this series. All right, we played one at East Carolina. We played one, the Durham Bulls, and now it's time in Chapel Hill. Carolina minus 3.5 on the run line, minus 425 on the money line. I love North Carolina today. All over it, man. Now, again, East Carolina is dangerous here, though, because this team is good. That said, you've got to think that North Carolina is going to approach hitting today like a professional club. So that 13 and a half, do you have any thoughts on this game? That 13 and a half could get blasted. If we see East Carolina get the bats going again, we could get there. What do you think?
Where are they playing today?
North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Okay, yeah, and that's a big difference because ECU is a bandbox, and you know how a pop-up gets out of that place, which I love.
Well, and that's the thing. So, all right, so so game 1, North Carolina won 10-0.
Yeah.
That was at ECU. Yeah, and then ECU wins 10-3 yesterday at Durham, and then now, So keep going. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, UNC plays big. Chapel Hill, down the line's not massive, but it does have depth in the gaps. It is a bigger stadium. I'd need to obviously check the wind with it. But, yeah, I mean, with what we've seen between both of these clubs, you'd expect at some point they're both going to show up offensively, especially with top to bottom. And above all else, we're getting metal bats. So at a certain point, great pitching is great, and it does well for you. But when you're breaking bats that aren't breaking and you're still finding gaps, it can add up. I wouldn't be surprised with runs today, like we see with 13 and a half right now. So would lean the over in it, but a no play for me today. It will be an interesting series though, because you expect both of these teams to make a regional. Wonder if they will eventually cross paths if one of them's ranking is not high enough. So it's something to look at. We'll probably see them play each other again here in a couple more months.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, we'll see these. We'll see these two.
Yep.
But yeah. So anyway, so North Carolina in a bounce back spot here. But again, the scary part is that East Carolina is a good baseball team. Like the East Carolina could have woken up yesterday as well. You know what I mean? And said, "Hey, let's say it's go time." So yeah, I'm with you. We could see some runs here. Again, think Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. You're seeing totals that are 14 and a half. We saw a 15. You see a 15 below there. Right state. Of course. All right. So Georgia Southern, South Florida. Okay. This game, if you look, all right, and Joseph was talking about this, right? So if you look at Georgia Southern and South Florida, no joke, there could be 300 runs in this game. The books even put it at 14 and flat and said, good luck. Yeah, we're going to find out. So South Florida, I'm with Joseph there. Good look. Wright State, Charlotte, I don't have anything on this game, although I just want to see Wright State runs again, whether they're scoring them or giving them up. We need to get Wright State in our pocket again because that was a nice, not automatic over last year, but it was pretty much automatic that these games are going to be in the 17s and 18s. So I want to keep an eye on Wright State there. South Alabama, College of Charleston, nothing for me here. Ohio State and Memphis. Have you caught either of these two teams much
I'm low
this year?
I'm low on Ohio State this year. To me, one of the ultimate examples of getting caught up with a school name versus a baseball school name. And I think a lot of people fall into that trap with Ohio State, seeing what you get during the football year and a couple other big sports, not always correlating.
Don't mix it up.
Exactly, which is great. Don't tell anybody else. But there are certain teams in certain spots that people blindly chase thinking, oh, it's a big school versus, if they were playing to the public eye, a non-player, Coastal Carolina versus Ohio State. I bet you a lot of people would take Ohio State blindly off the name, not realizing a clue of what blue bloods are in college baseball. But not high on either of these two teams this year. Ohio State's been down for quite a while.
Yeah. David, United States hockey 4-minute power play, and I thought Canada were on the power play. Yeah, keep me updated here.
I'm watching it live.
All right, where are we at right now?
USA just blew a 4-minute power play, and in the midst of it, got their own penalty. So now Canada is about to go 5-on-4 in 13 seconds. USA missed a a nice
Wait,
chance.
where are we at, like time wise? Like
we are 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period, and Canada is about to have right now a 1 minute and 9 second power play right now for the Canadians.
All right. And it's 1-1, right?
1-1, 5-on-4 for Canada right now. And USA missed a pretty good chance, and instant response with that power play that was a delayed spot. So Canada did a good job of killing out that power play chance for the US.
Yeah.
Shot wide by Canada. That was a good blast. 2 minutes left right now. And
Nice.
we'll get back to it. They know better than I. Everybody else is watching more than I am. So
yeah. So appreciate that. UTRGV Houston. Houston minus 1.5 on the run line, minus 215 on the money line. Total of 14.5. Nothing left for me here. Nothing for me here. Houston might be a play here, though. I'd be careful. All right. Another decision we need to make. Dallas Baptist, UTSA. So UTSA has taken 2. I wanted to play Dallas Baptist today, but I don't know, man. UTSA might sweep this thing. Minus 110 on the money line for UTSA, minus 120 for Dallas Baptist. So Dallas Baptist, a very slight favorite. Not really. It's basically just even. Have you caught any of this one, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, both of these, all 4 of these teams, very interesting squads in general. I mean, four Texas teams that aren't going to be on the top of your list with a group of people who are naming Texas college baseball. But UTRGV having a great year. There's high expectations for them as well. They, to me, are kind of like the UTSA of last year. Anybody who joined last year had UTSA 20-1 with us to win Conference USA. They handled business, and back at it again this year. Both of these teams extremely good mid-majors. We know what Dallas Baptist is. The Patriots are really strong, especially on the offensive end. Hard to ever not want to lean anything but an over. 15 is concerning, but really is it? I mean, both of these teams we know can continue to put up runs. It's going to be that questionable off and on win. Where are they playing today? Are they playing at UT? Are they playing at UTSA today, or is it inside?
Inside, I believe.
Okay, so to me that actually kind of helps. I think that we're going to get continued offense. So over 15 to me would probably be a lead in that DBU UTSA game. And then honestly, Houston does not deserve to be a 2-1 favorite in this one. I would lean either UT Grand Valley plus 1.5, or if you wanted to get a little ballsy, look at that 165.
There we go. All right. Do we go to overtime?
We are overtime.
Nice.
I believe. Hang on. Let me double check.
There you go. Maryland, Louisiana, Lafayette.
I don't believe anybody until I see it on my own. The USA killed it. We have reached overtime. Canada had about 4 real nice looks there. Credit to the USA for keeping their skates underneath them. Now they got stuck out there on the power play for a while, but yeah, what can you ask for? 1-1.
All right, so overtime is 3-on-3, right?
Yes.
God, I'm mad that I'm not watching this. That's unbelievable. All right, you guys keep me updated in the chat. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I got to speed it up here. All right, Maryland, Louisiana, Lafayette, nothing for me there. Utah and Creighton, nothing from me there. Lamar, UT Arlington, nothing from me there. Bradley, you're on UNLV today. UNLV.
Yeah, Bradley can't get anybody out, so I think UNLV continues to win. Bradley's in UNLV. We know what happens after a few days out there, so I wouldn't be surprised to watch the blowout. I mean, if nothing else, what we've seen is the pitching staff. I've actually watched a decent amount of this. I've been on the over the first 2 games, and they've flown through. So it wouldn't be surprising again if UNLV leads that charge.
There we go. Missouri State, Ole Miss, nothing to be here. All right, LSU, UCF. LSU, look, this is very playable today. Minus 345 on the money line. I mean, again, take it into consideration. I know we're talking about minus 345s, and you'd have to pair it with something, but that's different than the normal minus 600. UCF could play, though. In Jacksonville, this is dangerous, man. Again, this is one of those to where are you gambling or are you betting on what you've been seeing? If you're betting on what you've been seeing, there's absolutely zero reason to get off LSU. No reason. I mean, everything looks great. Pitching dominant, hitting dominant, 1 through 9. But literally everyone in that lineup can mash, right? But UCF can play. And what we got caught up in yesterday with some of the teams is baseball. They're going to take a loss, right? It's just going to happen. But then again, do you want to gamble on that? Or do you want to, hey, I'm just going to keep riding this train that no one has told me to get off of, so why would I? Where do you fall on this one, man? Anything you see?
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. I don't expect anybody to run the table. And, you're playing in an interesting situation, interesting location. LSU continues to score runs. Eventually that lull is going to happen. It will for anybody. It will for everybody. It just, to me, it doesn't have the value today that I looked at. There was a lot of better opportunities that I have no fear of attacking. And, quite frankly, I hope that LSU struggles a little bit because there'll be a great bounce back spot the next game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tough part is do you want to gamble or do you want to ride on what you've been seeing, right? Like Friday, it worked out. Saturday did not work out, right? But we might be playing on the bounce back here. So, all right. But that's the thing, though, man, is like if you're looking to put together a 2-leg parlay, like LSU's very playable, man. That minus 345. Yeah, you could use that. Rice at USC. USC continues to go. The Trojans, they're absolutely nothing to complain about with them. Minus 4.5 on the run line. Let me pull this full screen. That's a big number. Total of 14.5. These totals are large today. It is Sunday, though. Obviously, you're going to have number 3s versus number 3s starting on the pitching mound, and then see what bullpens you have left, right? Oklahoma State, Grand Canyon. Oklahoma State minus 195 on the money line there. Total of 14. Nothing from me on that. UConn and Arizona. Something from me on this. All right, Greg, have you been watching Arizona start this year?
Yeah, I have had I've had UConn the last couple days. They obviously couldn't get it done last night, but after a couple, I was going the fade train of Arizona until they could actually win a game. So it was an easy layoff for me today, but I lean UConn again.
Yeah. And why not, right? Like UConn goes out there, wins game 1. Arizona finally got a win yesterday. Finally. What'd you say?
Their offense looks abysmal.
Yeah. They're just not hitting. Yeah. I mean, they're just not hitting, right? That said, I've got it paired with an Oregon State on the money line. So this is my risky parlay. If you don't want to play this, I get it. I totally get it. I'm gambling. Absolutely gambling. But Arizona, as a baseball team, when you look at the clubhouse, as disastrous as it started, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. It's really not, man. You remember like in junior high, like getting a pimple on your nose or something? Oh, it's the end of the world, right? Then you're like, oh, what? Nothing. I still believe in this Arizona team. Now, not that I don't believe in UConn, but if you're looking at it, you're saying after this crazy start of all of this, we finally got a win, and we have a chance today to do it again. Win a series. I think Arizona comes in excited today. Having fun, joking around. All right, we're good. So I've got it paired with Oregon State, but just have to get the bats going. They just have to get the bats going. And I think this is also one of those, if you want to lay off, but you want to kind of live play, keep an eye. Because Arizona, if I were the coach, I would be saying, fellas, look, first inning, we've got to score a run. Second inning, we have to have at least one run. I'd like two. But really, what you have to do is you just have to get on the board, right? Just get on the board, get some confidence up, and start cutting. And we saw it yesterday, and I think we see it again today. Austin, AB can't quit Arizona, the new Duke. I know. I believe in them. Hey, by the way, have you seen Duke? They're like 6-1, man. I know. We haven't had a chance to bet them. So I guess Arizona is the new Duke. All right. St. John's, Arizona State. You're on Arizona State today. They're minus 4.5 on the run line. Total of 16 and a half. 16 and a half. That's the highest I've seen today so far. Minus 720 on the money line. What do you like, Arizona State?
I mean, it's the number tells me a lot too. It's quietly something to look at. But you see some of these teams 4.5 run favorites that are minus 400. Arizona's minus 700 for a reason. I expect them to absolutely dominate St. John's. Two completely different programs. I think ASU is the real deal. I like what I've seen from the pitching staff as well. I know they can score runs. They have a good depth with the offense, but I think this is another really nice spot for them to handle business. They haven't played that great the last couple of days. They've still won with ease, and I expect that to continue today.
Yep, I'm right there with you, man. All right, Portland, UC Santa Barbara. I'm on UC Santa Barbara today. Look, it hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been pretty, but they've been wins. And I think UC Santa Barbara can absolutely take advantage of Portland today. Just got to get some runs up. I think they won, 3-2?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I mean, this team, again, not that we expect UC Santa Barbara to be, LSU at the plate, but this team's pretty good. And I think today is a good spot to open themselves up offensively, right? You're going to get good pitching here, and they certainly have the advantage in terms of bullpen usage. So, yeah, man, I'm riding UC Santa Barbara today, minus 375, obviously a high price. But let me say this, that minus 375, that's the same price as LSU. So if you're somebody saying, hey, you know what? I feel you on UC Santa Barbara. I think I trust LSU more. Can't blame you. You know what I mean? So it's all about options and how you want to mix and match if you're going that route, or you could be playing totals. But man, these totals are high, dude. I know that it's Sunday. I know that it's warm, but 16s, dude, that's a big total. All right, Florida State, Nebraska. We're both on Florida State here. Florida State minus 2.5 on the run line, minus 220. I hate to fade Nebraska. I like this Nebraska team. But we're getting Florida State off of a loss to a really good Auburn team. Auburn was the higher ranked team. Not that that matters, but again, Auburn, we're not saying that Florida State, it's falling apart. Like, lost to a good baseball team. But I do think that Florida State's going to come back and bounce back nicely because, man, it's go time every single night for this team. I love their approach. So, yeah, I hate to fade Nebraska because I got a lot of love for them, but big on Florida State today. What do you see?
Yeah, I love to fade Nebraska on this spot today, especially coming off of what was a Florida State lead halfway through that game. They ended up letting the bullpen kind of collapse on themselves, and I would expect that to reflect on both sides of the ball today. I'd expect Florida State to come out early and often, and they'll utilize that staff, like they would on a Sunday, and try to get that final victory, finish up the weekend strong. And it's an offense that I think is still kind of sitting in the weeds. We know that they can score double digits with pretty much ease, and I expect Sunday side for Nebraska starting staff to struggle. Seminoles should score a good amount of runs today, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think now again, nothing against Nebraska, right? Yeah. Like it's just a Florida State spot,
Right? Yeah, right spot, right time. Two different styles a little bit too. I think Florida State really can get out and put it and punch you in the mouth and continue to stay on you. And the pitching staff too. We know what Florida State brings in terms of their weekend series, and I expect them to get into that kind of mode right now.
Tizzle, AB, I said the same thing. I think we still get a lot of unders. Yeah, I mean, these totals are large. Like, I know that it's Sunday. I get it. But 16s.
It's still February.
Yeah, and, here's the other thing, too. Okay, let real quick. Like, think about what you have to get to hit an over 13.5. That's 14 runs. 8-6. I mean, it's a big ask, right? So I agree. Like, now, it's not something that's going to apply across the board. Nothing doesn't like. But, yeah, it's still February 22nd. Like, as Jeff said, yeah, in Tennessee today, low 30s, windy and cloudy, daffodils blooming everywhere. They are. I have daffodils in my yard that came up, too. It's funny that you said that. But, yeah, Jeff, man, it is. It's cold here. So, yeah, man, it's all over the board. The weather's been all over the board. Campbell and Troy, Let me pull it back up full screen. And I didn't mean to go weather on there, but yeah, these totals are just high. Campbell at Troy, total 15.5. Good series here. VCU, Coastal Carolina. You don't have to go deep on it. I know you're on Coastal here. Coastal -3.5, -425 on the money line. Total of 50. So this is game 2, right?
Yeah, I'm on Coastal game 1.
Yeah, you're on game 1.
Yeah. I took the one this morning early.
All right, perfect. All right, sorry. TCU, UCLA. So UCLA, look, man, they've won 2 on TCU and not really had too terribly much trouble doing it. Not saying they blew them out, but UCLA is just putting it on folks right now. -2.5 on the run line, -270 on the money line. Now, here's where it comes down to. And we've all seen this. Friday, UCLA handles business, bet it, feel good. Saturday, UCLA handles business, bet it, feel good. Sunday, it ruins your parlay. The TCU is good. It's a top 10 team, and for a reason. Now, do I think UCLA is better? Absolutely. Like, UCLA is going to be better than a lot of people. But I don't know yet how good UCLA is. That said, today is an excellent opportunity because if you go out there and just sweep through TCU with not a large problem of doing so, okay. Now, I'm not saying that today defines UCLA. -270 on the money line. If you're somebody saying, look, I'm not trying to gamble. I'm betting on what I see. Hitting is contagious. No complaints from me. I've been betting UCLA the last 2 days. All right. Right there with you. What do you think here today? Where would you go?
Yeah, it was a layoff for me just because of kind of what you talked about. I mean, TCU obviously doesn't get to bring their whole staff to, their number 1 is currently going through his own elbow little issues. So Friday night's a bit skewed. But you know what? It's tough to lose when you're scoring double digits. It's also tough to lose when your staff's giving up 2 or less a game. And UCLA is what I expected them to be, quite frankly. We have them in a couple different ways to get to Omaha, win the Big Ten. And it's not a shocker. They returned 80+% of their team from last year. Goes a long way. Having that consistency, that continuity across both sides of the ball, especially with your staff, is big. There's no question marks like there would be with guys transferring from all over the place. Getting to Omaha last year is a big thing too. Not that same pressure this time. When you get there, it'll be a little bit more of a comforting feeling than everybody's eyes wide open for the first time. And above all else, that talent is huge. Probably the number 1 draft pick as well this year with their shortstop. I expect them to continue to move. They're one of those teams that I feel like has heard the hype, they understand the hype, and they kind of enjoy it. So I think this is a different UCLA squad than what we've seen from a lot of West Coast teams with this hype, especially this early in the year. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. It's an easy layoff to me because TCU, any other team
you're going to steal one, right?
That's what I'm saying. And 2-1 with a team that is incredibly good. If you would have said this last weekend and not watched game 1 and 2, and you said I can get TCU at 2-1 today, feel very differently about it. All those reasons making an easy layoff to me. I would lean the under 14.5. I think maybe we see some better pitching top to bottom with some late relief, but an easy layoff to me on both sides of this one.
Yeah, it's risky, but this is all right. This game is the definition of gambling. It's the definition of it. All right, are you going to bet on what you've seen? Because if so, this line is laughable. -270. And again, I'm not coming at TCU. It's just the way that UCLA is playing right now. They are operating on all phases, right? So, yeah, but I'm with you because, look, man, we've bet UCLA like 4 times already this year and not a complaint. I didn't include them today. I didn't bet against them. I'm certainly not doing that. But I got nervous. I got scared, man. I got scared. And look, I'm going to look like a dum-dum afterward. UCLA, watch, 9-1 win. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you are not afraid like me, UCLA could be a play for you because that -270 is playable, buddy. You could pair that up nicely. All right, Southern Miss at Baylor. I'm on Southern Miss paired with Tennessee +110. Southern Miss minus 135 on the money line, minus 1.5 on the run line. It honestly is game's pretty close. I'll be honest, nothing against Baylor. I just need Southern Miss to be Southern Miss today. Come out, good Sunday baseball, approach it, attack, dominate it on the mound. Do not need Baylor to have some crazy game where we have to get high in runs. If we're looking at the under, it's probably good. Anything you see here?
Yeah, I wish that I wish Baylor hadn't lost yesterday, so this game had more meaning with that tournament. Southern Miss already clinches the victory for that for the Cup Classic, but I do think they want to finish with a victory, especially coming off that come from behind late victory last night against Oregon State. I think that momentum rolls, and above all else, Southern Miss's staff is deep, and I think that they want to continue to get those pieces in place. So I do lean Southern Miss, but it did make it a layoff to me with the situational spot.
Yep, no doubt, man, no doubt. Cal, UC Irvine. Cal got one from UC Irvine yesterday. UC Irvine minus 298 on the money line. They're playable, man. I am not backing out on UC Irvine. It's baseball. You're going to lose games. Welcome to the weekend, right? But you looking for a bounce back spot? UC Irvine could be this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Were you going to say?
Yeah. No, Cal is one of those teams I cannot figure out. I watched a lot of that game yesterday. A couple errors and a 3-run homer, and things got out of hand quickly yesterday. But Irvine, to me, the biggest issue is they're not hitting. I don't like what I'm seeing from the approach right now. It's a different field than what we've seen with past Irvine teams. And, it takes time. They're not a club that's going to hit the ball out of the yard over and over and over. They're a gap-to-gap team, a station-to-station team, and it's great. That's how we play on the West Coast. It's much more of a small ball pitching and defense wins. And I think that'll come through. But I do have some questions with what Irvine's doing. I look at the under 15.5 today. I think that is a pretty good spot. I think Cal, above all else, if they're going to match in this game, it's going to have to be a low-scoring win. Yesterday got out of hand quickly. So, and even with that being said, it stayed under easily. So I think it was a 9-2 victory or something like that. So wouldn't surprise me if we get there again and get a much better performance from Irvine overall. So under 15.5 would be my play in this game.
Yeah, I mean, look at that total, 15.5. Like that's 9-7.
Yeah. Cal is not an offensive juggernaut.
No, I mean, neither of them are. You know what I mean? Nope. And I don't say that negatively. I mean, UC Irvine definitely, a pitching-led team, right? Yeah, so 15.5, man, that's a massive number. Tez, UNLV minus 2.5 and UCLA money line plus 161 on 365. There we go. You're on UNLV. You like that, Greg?
Yeah, I like UNLV. Like I said, I think that they should dominate. I'd be curious what their team total is as well. They've been scoring runs in absolute bunches, and it has been very windy in Las Vegas. So making sure that wind is blowing the right direction. I mean, pop-ups are going to get some serious distance.
Yeah. All right, I'll fly through these. We'll hit some. We only got 2 games of college basketball. We'll get out. All right, Michigan and Kansas State. Look, Michigan. This game. So, okay, Kansas State minus 135 on the money line. Total of 14. This could go way either way. That total is the riskiest total on the board today, bro. That's the riskiest total right there. Flat 14 with Michigan and Kansas State. Oh, USA just won?
Thanks for ruining it. That's one of those ones you keep it quiet till we mention it. But, all right, go USA. Sorry, Canada. You figure out something else you're good at, I guess, because USA just took it to you in both of them.
Wow.
Goal. Winner.
Wow.
There it is.
There we go. Who scored it?
It was... I can't tell. It's
Jack Hughes.
People. Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. Sorry, Canada. That's a shame.
There we go. Man, what a win there. Congrats to the United States.
Sweep the gold hockey. How about that?
Yeah. That is
even better to
that's certainly going to cause some consternation. All right, so that's college baseball. All right, so real quick to end it, this Michigan-Kansas State, okay? I know that on paper it does not look like the most exciting game on the board. Dude, there could be a ton of runs in this game today, a ton of them, if we get both teams hitting. If we don't, it could be laughable. That's why I say this is the most risky total on the flipping board today. A flat 14 with these two teams. So, all right, that's what we have. College basketball, 2 ranked games. Ohio State at Michigan State. Michigan State a 9.5-point favorite. Total of 146.5, as well as Iowa and Wisconsin. Wisconsin minus 2.5. I almost said on the run line, minus 2.5, and a total of 146.5. So, first one on Ohio State, Michigan State. I don't have a play on this one. Scares me. I mean, I like Michigan State. I don't like them needing 10 or more. Now, Iowa and Wisconsin. If you want a bounce back game, Wisconsin's your spot. Minus 2.5. You could even look at a money line, but yeah, well. Either of these games you're jumping in on, Greg.
I would lean Michigan State. I like the spot at home here with this number. But you know what? I will not be jumping on either. I think it's still shade too many points. We know what Ohio State can do. We know how these teams play. I mean, it's back and forth. There is going to be a lot of body blows. And getting to that 10 number is a little bit scary. I definitely like Michigan State, but it makes it a lean off for me with this many points.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the Iowa-Wisconsin game, doesn't it feel like a perfect spot for Iowa to just linger around and find a way to sneak inside that number? Seems fishy. It seems strange, and seems like the perfect spot for the Hawkeyes to just stick around.
It scares me. But I also think, here's the other. Lambeau said parlay Sparty and Wisconsin money line. I like that. Anything I could do to get these spread. What does that pay out at? Because I would definitely get on board with that parlay. Like, if I don't know what those odds are, but yeah, like you're exactly right with Iowa. It scares me, but then again, I believe in this Wisconsin team. I think I say that
exactly.
Yeah, Michigan State. That's a perfect number. I would play Michigan State. I think I played it 7.5. I don't know about 9.5, because then you're needing to be up like 14 with like 4 minutes left, just in case, you know.
Yep.
David, first time we won gold since 1980. Wow. Tizzle, best Winter Olympics in U.S. history. Yeah, right.
Thanks for not having Russia.
Dude, sweeping the gold in hockey is massive, man. All right, so that's college basketball.
And taking them both from Canada is even sweeter.
Yeah, they're not going to like that.
No, they're not going to love that.
No. All right, let's get the picks, and we'll bounce out of here. Sorry, hold on one second. I know that they're at the bottom here, but let me get them on the screen. Man, we went through a lot of slides today. All right, let it rip, man. What you got?
Yeah, we're going a couple of money line parlays today. Florida State and Arizona State in our first one, minus 115. And then Georgia, UNLV, and Coastal Carolina game 1 for that Coastal Carolina number, minus 115 as well. And that is it for our freebies. We have a big VIP play today. We do have our max play running, which is the first one of the 2026 season. I am not Canadian. I am Swedish and Hungarian and German.
Swedish, Hungarian, and German. All right. I am on. I was trying to make something funny. All right. Tennessee money line, Southern Miss. I had nothing. Tennessee money line, Southern Miss money line, plus 110. All these are college baseball. Florida State money line, UC Santa Barbara money line, minus 120. And Oregon State money line, Arizona money line, plus 115. Again, if you're somebody that's like, AB, I'm not trying to be risky today, that Oregon State and Arizona one, might want to lay off. But I'm trying to take a shot here. Try to take a shot. Try to get it, man. Austin said, hey, thank you, Greg and AB. Austin, thank you, big dog. Appreciate you. Lambo said, Iowa keeps winning, not impressive like the football team. Wisconsin needs a bounce back at home. Yeah, like that's how I feel about what's like. I'm in on that parlay. Again, I don't know what the odds are, but like that thought process, very much so. Getting that 2.5, because yeah, Greg, what you said about Iowa, yeah, just sneaking right in. Wisconsin winning by 2, and you're like, oh my God, come on. I know. That hook scares me. All right. We'll get out of here. Greg, any final thoughts, man, before we jump?
No, just like we've talked about, we're still in preseason for baseball. Don't go crazy with it. We see the ups and downs right now, but the big boys are still coming around the corner here with conference season, and a long way to go. But enjoy the rest of the Olympics. Nice to be back in California, and yeah, excited for the week ahead.
Me too, man. It's good to have you back, buddy. All right, crew, excellent job today. You all crushed it. Great work. Shout out to the United States and Canada. Absolutely smoked it there. Great job. All right, it's going to be a great Sunday, everyone. We'll see you live tomorrow, Monday, normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern. Until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you soon. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!